Let me start off with this one question today. Have you ever looked into the mirror and thought to yourself, I didn't know when I disappeared, but I know I did. And this is not because something went wrong, but because life happened. And then suddenly one day, you find yourself waiting for that perfect moment, waiting to feel confident enough to begin again. I, Monalisa Hizarika Soni, stand here today to challenge this belief. Change doesn't need confidence. Change needs one imperfect step. And especially in the case of women, because we are usually taught to believe that for transformations to happen, we need to be ready, we need to get rid of all our fears, and we need to have a settled life. A settled life. But in most of the cases, if you see in post-major transitions of a woman's life, courage and confidence is not something which is easily available. But let me tell you, action is. And I know it because I have lived it. I belong to a small town, Jorhat in Assam, where dreams do exist. And growing up, dancing and fitness were two of my identities. And life moved forward as it was supposed to. I moved out for my higher studies. I got into the corporate world. That was one of my dreams. And then I married the love of my life. And then became a mother to my two beautiful children. Everything seemed perfect, right? Everything seemed complete now. But you know what? There was one thing now that went missing. Post 2 pregnancies, my body changed, my routine changed, my priorities changed. And one fine day, when I looked at myself in the mirror, I could not recognize myself. I did not know it then, but researchers say that this is a very, very common experience that women undergo post-childbirth. And this is called identity loss. So yes, I underwent the same. Because, you know what, after motherhood, the way we relate ourselves changes. Not because we are weak, but the way we relate to ourselves changes completely. We celebrate sacrifice, and we forget to talk about grief. After this came postpartum depression, and it did not come loudly, it came quietly, with heaviness, frustration, and constant self-doubt. I had support, I had love around me, but you know what? Postpartum depression is not about what surrounds you. It's about what changes you undergo. Change in your inner identity. I kept promising myself every day, कल से पक्का start करूंगी, Monday से पक्का वापस gym जाऊंगी. Next week for sure, but nothing changed. Until one day I realized that it wasn't the society or my responsibilities that was my obstacle. It was rather my own self-doubt. Psychologists call this identity paralysis, wherein one is not able to move forward in life, not because he cannot, but because he stops believing that he can. And self-doubt, let me tell you, doesn't scream, it whispers. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm not the right person. Maybe my life is this now, I can no more do anything about it. But there was one fine day, when I stopped listening to it. I had no confidence, no motivation, no plan. I got into one of my oversized gym fits. I still remember it was green in color. And I headed straight to the gym, not to transform my body now, but, but to take this one imperfect step towards myself again. And believe me, everything changed after this. Everything. Self-rediscovery is not a comeback. It is a conscious reconstruction. And neuroscience says that our identity is not, it's not fixed because our brain, it is adaptable throughout our life. But there's this one thing that people fail to understand. Confidence doesn't create action. Action creates confidence. Slowly, steadily, and consistently. I was not chasing perfection. I was looking for progress. And one fine day, something happened which surprised even me. I thought of joining Mrs. India platform, not to win, not to prove anything to the world, but to answer to myself if I could trust myself again. And today, yes, I did. I did go global. I did go ahead and represented India globally. The crown was also there. But you know what? This was not the real victory. The real win happened. It happened earlier already, the day I decided to take that first imperfect step towards myself again. And today, through my NGO, Visionary Women Dreams Foundation, yes, we have an NGO as well, through my NGO and then through my mentoring sessions, I get to meet a lot of women from all across backgrounds. I meet mothers, I meet professionals, I meet creators, and all of them have one question: where did I go? And I have just this answer to all of them. We don't lose ourselves in motherhood. And self-rediscovery, it's not selfish, it is essential. Because a woman who reconnects with herself, she not only changes her life, but she changes each life, every single life that she touches. And today, I want you all to take away one thing from this. You don't need confidence. You don't need permission. All you need is this one imperfect step towards yourself. Because self-rediscovery, it's not a luxury. It's your responsibility towards you. Thank you so much.